everybody, my name is Star Up there. Welcome to my Stranger Things 3 spoiler-free review. These 8 episodes take place about a year after the events of Stranger Things 2, and in that time, the kids of Hawkins, Indiana have gone through quite a bit of change. They are now in high school, they now have girlfriends, they have gone away to camp, they're getting closer to the people that are outside of their group, things like that. But of course, it wouldn't be Stranger Things without something crazy going on, without something strange going on, so there's all of that with these monsters. But there's also the human element of Russians involved in this season. So yeah, a lot of crazy stuff in this season of Stranger Things. What I will say is we have a couple new locations, including the pool, as well as Starcourt. Starcourt is like the marquee location in this season of Stranger Things. It is this brand new mall, and what I like about it is it's really changing the course of everybody with this opening of this mall. It's, causing a lot of these small businesses to close. We have like the business that Joyce is working at, and that's starting to, go down, and business is going down. So you're getting a lot of different effects, ripple effects throughout everything, and it's building up, world building, even though it's, this is not like a fantasy type or science fiction type story. We're still getting world building in a sense we're still getting introduced to these new locations in Hawkins that we haven't seen before. So that to me is pretty awesome. We also get these amazing character arcs, and that's, for me, is the best thing about this season. We're getting these character arcs that are so personal, so changing the lives of these characters individually. I mean, we have Eleven, she's got a relationship with Mike, and, Hopper is not really liking that a whole lot, but then at the same time, Eleven is still learning about the world. She's experiencing going to the mall for the first time, going shopping, all these different life changes. We have characters like Will, who doesn't have a girlfriend and is kind of not jealous, but he wants to have his friends back to play D&D, and now they're basically too busy for him. So you have a lot of these real world consequences that don't pertain to the monster and the science fiction of this story that to me were the best points of this story. We have new characters in Erica. Well, she actually was already in this series, but she's given a very big part to do in this season, where she's Lucas's little sister, and she's able to really use her smarts to actually help out Dustin with a couple things. We also have Robin, who is a brand new character, works with Steve at this Scoops Ahoy place, and she ends up becoming an integral part to the unraveling of this plot. And I do like a lot of these characters, they have role reversals. You might have seen a character being in this type of situation, and now this other character that they're with have actually switched spots, which I thought was a brilliant thing to do. And kind of going back to my initial impressions about, hey, now this is not just about the monsters, but now you have the human element of the Russians, and I feel like that really set the stage for some interesting storytelling, because we're getting a lot of other vibes now, kind of like, they had the Goonies vibe before, but now we're getting stuff like the Terminator vibe, but of course we have this great Jurassic Park vibe, as well as the Blob vibe with this big monster. It's a big monster that's coming in, and it's causing havoc, and we have all the different characters. Like, you have different character teams, right? You have Hopper, you have Joyce, you have Steve, you have Justin, you have Mike, you have Lucas, you have Will, then you have Max, then you have 11. All these different characters, and this is one of the coolest things about this series, or this season, is that they are all working to unravel something different. None of them are really staying in communication with one another, but by the end of this entire season, they realize, wow, they're all working on a different part of the puzzle, essentially, and then they all come together in the end in this Avengers-like moment, which is one of the most triumphant things I've seen in TV yet. And it, to me, really just sparked like, wow, this is why I love this show, is because moments like this, you have Eleven using her telekinesis, and all these different characters playing a pivotal role in what is going on. Behind all this, you have the humor, you have the emotional gut punches that you could expect. I thought season 2 had a really, satisfying end that really resonated with me emotionally. And wow, that doesn't even come close to the end of the season. You guys, I don't think you guys are prepared to really experience the end of this season, because it's everything that I didn't expect that happens, and it's a total game changer. By the end of the season, I'm not sure what the heck is going to happen. I'm hoping there's going to be a Stranger Things 4, but with the way it is, I'm not really too sure about it. But yeah, overall, what I can say about this season is that it is going to shock you, it's going to surprise you, and it's going to be everything you wanted from like an 80s action movie that's a thriller. The tension, the suspense that is built up in these episodes is incredible. The editing, I have to give praise to the editing, because they're at moments that all these different storylines are kind of hitting a climax or hitting a very big action beat. They're all spliced together so well that it didn't feel like, oh, I wanted to see this character, because all the character storylines, even, Nancy and everything, are all very important. They're all very engaging, that I was like, okay, what's going to happen next? Every episode ended with a cliffhanger, and the pacing was so strong that, like, I finished these 8 episodes in, like, 3 days, and I could have probably done it in 1 day if I actually had the time, and I would have done it in 1 day, because it was so entertaining that I couldn't, take my eyes off the screen. Also, this season did shine a light on a lot of things that politically were charged, such as, the treatment of women during the 80s, with Nancy not really having a great time working at the newspaper because all the men were just kind of making fun of her. So you also have themes that were extremely strong, such as like change is good. Like, don't just cruise along in life and try to avoid change, because we need change in our lives to grow. And, feeling pain is something that, we all think as of a bad thing, but feeling pain can make us feel alive, essentially. And I feel like the themes that were brought from this season were very, very strong, and I don't think they've done that yet in any of the prior seasons of Stranger Things. So I love this season a lot, so I'll just talk about a couple nitpicks, because that's really all I can say. First off is how the creatures came back, how they resurfaced. I feel like that could have been better explained. Okay, there was a lot of product placement with Burger King and all different sorts of things like Coke and all this stuff. Yeah, it was really thrown in my face quite a bit there, so definitely noticed that more than I wanted to. And I would have liked a little bit more clarification on what happened in the aftermath of that final episode. So this season by far is the best season of Stranger Things. And with that being said, I gotta give it a 9.5 out of 10. There's almost nothing that I could find wrong with this season of television, and it stands on its own as one of the best seasons of television. And with this season, it is, putting it higher up on my list of must-watch TV. This is up there now with Game of Thrones, with Sopranos, with Breaking Bad. Again, I'm really hoping for Stranger Things 4. I think there's still some story to tell for sure, but, time will warrant if we will get that answer or not. So what do you guys think of Stranger Things 3? Please keep it spoiler-free down in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, I talk a little bit about TV, but I also talk a lot about movies and Star Wars. So make sure if you like this content, you go ahead and support the channel simply by subscribing. So that's going to do it for me, Star Raptor. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also included 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at StarRaptor.